Like, I'm really not a fan of what Aja Wilson said in this interview. Like, Aja Wilson is coming off a garbage half. An absolute garbage half. And this is what she's out here talking about in her interview.
All right, I'm here with Aja Wilson, and you're pretty fired up right now. What's going through your mind?
Everyone has to do their job. From the players to the refs to the coaches, we all have to do our job. And I don't appreciate being looked at and stared at as if you're trying to intimidate me.
Like, that was Camila Cardoso who swatted her. Like, Cardoso literally went and swatted Aja Wilson. She swatted Aja here and then stared her down. It's like, that's basketball. You do the same thing. I mean this. You do the exact same thing to people. You do the exact same thing. You're not, like Aja Wilson, you're not exempt from what you do to people just because you're Aja Wilson. Like, this is literally what happened here. She decides to drive at Camila Cardoso. Cardoso swats her and stares her down and screams in her face. It's basketball, it happens. Nobody does it more than you.
Or act like I don't have a voice on this court. So, yes,
What?
we are messing up defensively, and it's like we're not engaged, and we need to get engaged, and that's on us. But also, it goes hand in hand, and that's it. And if I get fined for this, I'm terribly sorry, but it's ridiculous. We've been going through this all season, so.
You've played the worst half of basketball I think I've ever seen from an MVP candidate. Aja Wilson, in this half, has shot the ball 20 times. And at the point of this interview, was what? 2 of 13 from the field? She shot the ball 20 times. She has the most favorable whistle in the WNBA. She has 6 of 20. She was 5 of 19. And her last bucket, she took 4 steps. It was so bad. All 5 players were like, did the ref travel? It was not just a travel. It was a mega travel. A mega travel. And she has the audacity to complain about the refs. She's shooting 6 of 20. And by the way, Angel Reese picked up 2 ticky-tack fouls. One was probably not even a foul with you on the break going nowhere near the ball. Going nowhere near the ball. You drew a foul on Angel Reese by just flailing when the ball went nowhere near you. Was going nowhere near you. You are so lucky. And she also was like, basically your teammates are ass. Aja Wilson, in the first quarter, she started off, what was it? 2 of 12 or something? One of those buckets was because she didn't get back on defense. She cherry-picked. She has cherry-picked multiple times in this game. She's not got back on defense multiple times in this game. So-called Defensive Player of the Year. So-called Defensive Player of the Year. If you watched early in this game, who was it that was, whenever the Sky were attacking the basket, who was it playing help defense, putting their body on the line early in the game? It was Megan Gustafson. Who was it that was holding the Chicago Sky off? It was Megan Gustafson. Yeah, you got 2 nice blocks. You got a nice chase down block in Aja Wilson. When you were out of position on the screen and roll. You did not defend the screen and roll properly, so you had to recover in a tough way to make the block. Great block. But you're not playing defense in this game. Aja Wilson is not playing defense. She's shooting every time she touches the ball. All Aja Wilson is doing is she catches the ball, turn, jump shot. Okay, Angel Reese is on 2 fouls after 3 minutes of the game. Let's get her in foul trouble. No, I'm going to turn and start bricking jump shots. Okay, Angel Reese has no ability to guard me in the post. Do I want to be physical? I already have the most favorable whistle in the league. No, shimmy, 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 turn around, brick. Like, she's barely passing the ball. She doesn't move off the ball. She has 10 rebounds because she's catching her own misses. Let's make that very clear. If we want to call out Angel Reese for catching her own misses, she's catching her own misses. She is 14 and 10 in the first quarter. Angel Reese is outplaying Aja Wilson with 4 and 8. I'm watching this game. Aja Wilson has been, I'm not going to lie, she has been a detriment to her team on the floor. They looked better when they had in the few minutes where they had Megan Gustafson, Kate Martin, Kelsey Plum, Tiffany Hayes, and Alicia Clark on the floor. That was when they looked their best. That's when this Aces team looked their best. And your MVP is going full-on Joel Embiid? Going full-on Joel Embiid. Man, me and James, we just need more help when you stink it up. She's gone full-on Joel Embiid. When this team couldn't do anything right until they took her off the floor. And yeah, she comes down, has 4 points to end the quarter. A nice pull-up jump shot, fine. But you're 4 of 19. You're 4 of 18 at this stage, and you're continuing to just take not good shots. Not good shots. And then you go and mega travel, which should have been a turnover, to go and get your 14th point. Like, this is very, very clearly I'm going to get 30 and I don't care what happens. I don't care about anything else. Her defense, how is she Defensive Player of the Year? I'm sorry, Fee, Stewie, Ezzy McGregor, Alana Smith. How A'ja Wilson is top in Defensive Player of the Year? How she is top in Defensive Player of the Year? I get it, she's leading the league in blocks. She plays defense almost like Hassan Whiteside at times. But we've seen it in the Olympics. When A'ja Wilson wants to be, she's the best player in the world. She's one of the best defenders in the world. If not the best. She's the best shot blocker. She is as good. Like, she's unbelievably good. But we also saw times in the Olympics where she was clearly just going for buckets. And she struggled. She struggled at times. But, like, going out there calling out Camila Cardoso for staring you down after a block when you scream in everyone's face after every time you do it, it would be like, again, it would be like if Caitlin Clark came out there and started in an interview, goes, I don't appreciate people trash talking me when she trash talks. It would have been like if Caitlin Clark, after the You Can't See Me, came out and said, I mean, I don't appreciate when people do that. When in reality, she did the same. Obviously, it was in a different context, her doing it to nobody. But, like, it's just hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy. And, like, look, A'ja Wilson, at her best, is the best player in the world. But she's in horrendous form. And instead of what a good player does when they're not dropping 30 in a game, they do everything else. They do everything else. So not even what a top player does. And this is why it's like as much as she can win you a game, that is the thing with Fee. She has already shot the ball more times in this half than Fee did last night. Fee had 31 on Indiana. She has shot the ball 5 more times in a half than Fee Collier shot 2 nights ago against her own team. Fee had 27. And you want to know why? Because Fee Collier just plays the game of basketball. She cuts, she plays defense, she passes, she moves, she shoots in an offense, she shoots with rhythm. She doesn't just go, oh, I need to drop 30 to get an MVP. Let me just keep chucking. Doesn't matter, let me just keep chucking. And like that is the difference. Look, A'ja Wilson is the best scorer right now. She's one of the best defenders. Right now, when A'ja Wilson is on, she's the best player in the world. But when she's not on, this is what you get. You get a player that's actually a detriment to your team. When you have a Fee Collier or a Breanna Steward, we've seen it. When Stewie sometimes isn't scoring, it's not her day. She can pass, she'll defend. She's not going to score, A'ja Wilson is. Every player at their peak performance, A'ja Wilson's still the best in the world. But like, I'm sorry, why is it like sacrilegious to criticize A'ja Wilson? Why is it like sacrilegious to say the MVP race it's a race? There are good players and it's not over yet. Because this is almost like when during the streak for Angel Reese, and I think Angel Reese is playing really well right now. She's not farming anything. She's not leaking out. She's playing defense. She's doing a really good job. She has 4 points. I don't care. I think she's played really well in this half. This is what I always said. It was like during the double-double streak, by the end of it, she stopped focusing on playing basketball and she started focusing on the streak. A'ja Wilson is now, since this Olympic break, even heck in the Olympics at times, she has stopped focusing on playing basketball and she's more focused on winning unanimous MVP and making sure she has all these record stats. She has stopped focusing on playing basketball and started focusing on numbers. And when you do that, you're going to inevitably play worse. Box score watchers might think you're playing well. But people watching the game are like, you're not doing anything. She is not right now playing ball in a way to try to help her team. She is playing ball in a way to win her an MVP.